The Blackwood Lake murder. You're the killer. Dylan pointed straight at me from across the dining table. At first, everyone laughed, because this was supposed to be a game, a murder mystery, a reunion weekend with our old college theater group. But then he said my name. Harper killed Lily, and suddenly, nobody was smiling anymore. My stomach dropped so hard it felt like I couldn't breathe. Dylan and I had been together for 3 years. 3 years. And now he stood there in his vintage black suit, wire-rimmed glasses reflecting the chandelier light, staring at me like I was a criminal he'd already convicted. The cabin went dead silent. Outside, the woods were pitch black. Wind rattled the windows of Carter's mountain lodge, and the yellow chandelier light stretched long shadows across the mahogany walls. "This is part of the script, right?" Chloe asked nervously. Nobody answered. That's when I realized something was wrong. Very wrong. The murder mystery game Dylan created was based on a real cold case from our hometown, the Blackwood Lake Drowning. Years ago, a girl named Lily vanished during a graduation party near the lake. Her body was found days later tangled in weeds beneath the water. The case was ruled an accident, but Dylan clearly believed otherwise. "I have proof," he said calmly. Miller, the only one of us who became a real detective after college, leaned forward slowly. Even Carter stopped smiling. Then the center of the dining table suddenly lowered with a mechanical hum. Everyone jumped. A hidden compartment rose from underneath the table, carrying an old wooden box. Dylan opened it carefully. Inside was a faded red dress soaked in dried mud and lake algae. The smell hit the room instantly. Chloe gasped. Carter went pale. I froze, because I recognized it immediately. Lily's dress. The same dress she wore the night she died. "Look familiar?" Dylan asked softly. Something inside me snapped. I grabbed the dress and threw it at him. "What the hell is wrong with you?" But Dylan didn't flinch. "This belonged to Lily," he said. "And Harper knows exactly why." The room exploded with tension. I could feel everyone staring at me. My hands shook, but years of acting training kept my face completely blank. Then Dylan pulled out a small recorder and pressed play. My voice filled the room, weak, half asleep, terrified. I didn't mean to. I didn't push her. I just watched her drown. I didn't help her. Every face at the table changed. Horror, disgust, shock. Dylan had secretly recorded me talking in my sleep. For 3 years, he'd been collecting evidence, studying me, waiting. "You dated me just for this?" I whispered. "Yes," he answered instantly, not even hesitation. That hurt more than the accusation. Carter suddenly stood up so fast his chair crashed backward. "You let Lily die?" he shouted at me. His face was red with rage. Back in college, Carter had loved Lily. Everyone knew it. "Don't act like this is justice," I said, staring at Dylan. "If you actually cared about Lily, you would have gone to the police. Instead, you turned her death into entertainment." That sentence changed everything. I saw it happen in Carter's eyes. The grief, the anger, the humiliation. Before anyone could react, Carter grabbed a silver fruit knife from the center of the table and lunged across at Dylan. The blade slammed into Dylan's chest. Blood sprayed across the white tablecloth. Chloe screamed. Miller tackled Carter to the floor, and Dylan collapsed beside the table, clutching his chest. But as he stared up at me through the chaos, he smiled. That's when I understood. This was never about revenge. It was insurance fraud. 2 days later, Dylan was alive. Of course he was. The knife missed every vital organ almost perfectly, exactly the way he planned it. I stood in the doorway of his hospital room while an insurance agent handed him paperwork. "Your accidental injury claim has been approved," the man said. $1 million will be transferred by Friday. Dylan thanked him politely. The second the agent left, I shut the door behind me. "You planned all of it," I said. Dylan adjusted his glasses. "Planned what?" "You knew Carter would lose control if you exposed Lily's death in front of everyone. You wanted him to stab you." Dylan smiled faintly, but said nothing. I stepped closer. "And the night before the game," I continued, "you texted me to meet you by the lake." For the first time, his expression shifted slightly. "You never showed up," I said, "but someone else did. The groundskeeper, Lily's father. He attacked me near the water, tried to drown me. You told him I'd be there." "Yes," I said quietly. "You wanted him to kill me." "You killed his daughter," Dylan replied coldly. "No," I snapped back. "I let her die. There's a difference." Silence filled the room, two terrible people finally seeing each other clearly. And when I survived, I continued, you switched to plan B. Publicly expose me, trigger Carter's rage, collect your insurance money, and let everyone else destroy each other. Dylan leaned back against the hospital bed. It was a great performance, Harper. I stared at him for a long moment. Then I turned toward the door. You know the worst part? I said softly. I actually loved you. Dylan didn't answer. I walked out of the hospital and into the freezing night air, leaving him alone with his money, his lies, and Lily's ghost.
Smash that like and turn on notifications. The next bot drops soon.